On this channel we often talk about the best stories that feature a lot of players all around the world, mostly about North America, Europe and South Korea. But today we'll travel to a place that is rarely mentioned in the StarCraft 2 community. Somewhere in Vietnam, a Cheese King was crowned, and here is the tale of the most aggressive ZERG player ever. His nickname is Meomaika, and he gained a lot of fame for his recent performance. 2022 was the best year for him. His playstyle depends a lot on aggressive attacks, and he made a name for himself because of such reckless actions. He even made Pig eat his shoe.
I mean, if he breaks this choke point and wins the game, I will eat my shoe, Maynard. It just does not work committing to an all-in in this choke point. I am putting down a fierce prediction right now. I do not think this works.
How is that shoe looking, Pig?
It's looking very, very uncomfortable right now. I don't want to eat it, but I might have to. So many probes going down. And this is the problem with Stalkers versus Ling Hydra. They overkill massively on the Lings. The Hydras come in, the Swarm comes in. If he just got out like a few Disruptors right now, he'd be okay. But what a crazy tech switch here for Mio. Oh, reaching into his bag of tricks and seeing something that we don't normally see from him. And this is so hard to deal with. The splash is going to be devastating in that choke point.
Yeah, choke point suddenly being really effective here for the ZERG. Anything coming into that Lurker meat grinder is going to have a bad day. It is just 4 Lurkers, but I mean, and Meomaika started stepping on in. He feels like he's got it. I don't know, man. The Zealots on the right side coming on in as well. Help the Lings, but no, there's too much DPS in those Hydra lists. And Meomaika.
Oh, good.
However, Meomaika wasn't always such a giga chat. He actually has many years of experience, and starting from 2016, Meomaika has played in hundreds of small tournaments and online cups.
My name is Trần Hồng Phúc. I'm from Vietnam, and I started to play StarCraft about more than 2 years ago, and I started to play ZERG till now. I love that race, so easy.
However, his first 4 years were really tough and wild. Even though he quickly became the best player in Vietnam, it wasn't as easy to compete on the international level. But thanks to the support of his close ones, he continued his hard work.
My path to StarCraft 2 was very wild. All I have to say, I want to thank my girlfriend, who supported me at the very first steps, and on the Vietnamese StarCraft 2 community, who always has my back to today.
By the end of 2018, Meomaika established himself as one of the best players from the Oceania region. However, he would still face strong competition from most Australian players, as well as his Filipino rival Ender. During those years, Meomaika was honing his playstyle and making it work in every possible matchup. Sometimes he even caused big upsets and showed incredible games, like the one with Maro in 2019.
Meomaika is once again just going for another bust here with tons of links. The door's actually open. Oh man, the Banelings are coming on in for that big sick damage, and they get through that natural wall. Wasn't really a wall in the end, and the Banelings are actually high enough to count, I feel, to bust this wide open, and they do. The Lings and Meomaika in the main base of Maru doing a lot of SCV damage now. There's no units at home just down to help out, except for maybe a Marine or two. Maru's on the other side of the map with his 16 Marine drop, doing a lot of damage to Meomaika as well. The Lair's in big trouble. He's lost his Spore Crawler. Spawning Pool is actually next in the menu here for the Terran. Oh, he's looking for those drone kills. He's looking for the throat here of Meomaika. Meomaika's doing the exact same thing, tearing apart Maru from the inside. These Lings doing their job. The natural is in the sky and on fire. If Maru can't repair that, it will burn down. Meanwhile, he is just scheming. Maru is on the other side of the map to try and get rid of the drones to Meomaika. So enough units and queens from Meomaika to be able to push the Marines back up into their medevacs. And he's keeping tabs on them as well. These Marines can't drop on this many Lings. If they drop one Marine at a time, the Lings will actually just eat them apart. Meomaika has forced Maru to give up his main base and go refugee style, just exodus over to the right-hand side of the map. Is Maru just trying to try and re-expand somewhere else and try and make a game out of this? It is so hard to come back from the stage, though. Maru's on one worker. Is this some Marine King Prime stuff happening right now here from Maru? Is this floating around with one SCV alive? 21 army supply worth of medevac Marine in a dream here. We got a liberator there from Maru. It is damaged from earlier. It's got 15 kills. That must have been from earlier when it was holding against the Ling Bane attack. Good marker from Maru to try and keep that away from the Spore Crawler, but doesn't have enough hit points to stand and fight against 2 Queens. And Meomaika is actually poised to take this one. We got some drones getting taken down, sure, but he's still up 16 to 15 workers at the moment as Maru squeezes out an extra SCV. He does retake this area, and he is still producing units. But even though this guy is a god, I don't know if he's going to be able to come back from this kind of deficit. You know, Meomaika may not have tons of results to his name, but he is a very solid, a very high-level player. And it's hard to throw a lead that's this convincing, you know? The Lings find the re-expansion there of Maru. Or the refugee camp here at Maru. Gets surrounded by those Lings. The last couple of workers go down. There is still one alive somewhere. Where is that SCV of Maru? It's actually still in the main base holding some gas canister. So the Marines are high enough in count to at least bully this cluster of Lings, but what about the rest of them? I mean, surely you got to tap out at this point. Maru tries to find some surface area to engage these Lings, but the numbers are just on Meomaika's side. Again, he never got his infantry upgrades. I didn't even know if he got combat shield. He never even got combat shield. He lost his tech lab before it even finished. So he's just on stim, which means these Lings are just going to continue to eat them apart. Maru probably in a little bit of disbelief here, as a lot of us are watching this game against the on the ropes against a player that not many international players know. I mean, I know Meomaika pretty well. I got to meet him in person actually in Sydney when he qualified for WC. It is very far tucked away in the natural, but again, this does keep it safe. Cyclone gets a nice target fire, and he's actually going to take down one of the Ravagers with the bunker. Oh, the bunker gets taken down there from Meomaika. The Lings really tanking that front line with the Ravagers doing damage on the back. While he's lost one Ravager, Meomaika is once again inside the defensive line of Maru. He's cracked the shell here of the Terran. He is flooding on in with a bunch of Lings and Ravagers. These SCVs don't really have too many units to try and hold on. Oh my god, a fresh tank also being picked off here from Meomaika. He takes it down. That's a lot of resources lost there for the Terran. Biles coming down, connecting with the SCVs, damaging the bunker as well. Maru with a mass repair and also denying a lot of mining time. He's only really mining gas from the main base. The SCVs in the natural not really mining minerals at all, except for 2 and a mule down here. Liberator is up and it's trying to deal with these Ravagers. The Ravagers pull back, chain some Biles there on that Liberator. One of them does go down thanks to the bunker and to the Ravager, or rather the Liberator. Oh, dodges that Bile just in time. Maru's micro on point. But the power of the Zerg, the sheer numbers from Meomaika, he's putting on so much pressure. The bunker is just being repaired enough to hold back against these Lings, and they're just going to go elsewhere, straight up into the main base where there's a lot less defense. Goodbye Tech Lab, no more siege tanks, no more Cyclones for a while here for Maru, but neither of which are going to be very helpful against a big flood of Lings. There's ramp coverage with the Liberator, the bunker coverage on that ramp, and the mineral line coverage with this bunker is way more important. The Lings find an opening here in the bunker where they can damage some SCVs, but the bunker is just continuing to do damage, and Meomaika, while he doesn't have a huge drone count, once again is finding himself in a situation where, thanks to his aggressive tactics, he's got a worker lead against the Terran. Oh, that Overlord getting very, very low. Meomaika, oh, nearly losing that Overlord. Surprised Maru didn't, like, unload a Marine and just make sure that Overlord dies. Aren't really needed anymore. They come on in, and they are going to Blinding Cloud wherever they can. That second one's kind of a whiffed one, but it doesn't really matter as they kind of stand true on that A-move call, and Meomaika gets a 2-0 victory over 3-time back-to-back-to-back GSL champion.
And yet his progress was rather slow because of his microcontrol. He would often use F2 command and have issues with late game, where most players had an upper hand over him. But unlike most other ZERG players, Meomaika is playing StarCraft 2 in a completely unpredictable way, making his best efforts to distract opponents and cause chaos on the map.
About my playstyle, many other players think me as aggressive, but to me, when I play the game, it feels more like assassinate my opponent. I'll try my best to confuse them, catch them by surprise on unexpected timing, deny their vision, cancel tech to give them the failed information. I use strength unit choice like Mass Multilink vs Terran or Pure Hydra Link vs Protoss. Why? I have always been playing offensive. The games I don't, I just lose. I believe initiative and surprise are the winning factors. And my favorite unit is Hydralis, despite it's very underrated by top Zerg like Rainer, Scarlet or Lambo. Because my background of Brood War player where Hydra is such an iconic all-purpose Zerg unit.
Finally, after many years of practice, Meomaika entered 2022 with a mindset of a champion. He completely crushed his dream Hackmasters Oceania and became the first Vietnamese champion, and he also did it with style.
Oh, how many Hydras are popping in the main? They're going to be isolated in here. Zealots are going to be able to get on those. Nice moves by T-Bull here, chaining the force fields on the ramp. The Zealots are going to tear up the drones and the Hydras there in that main base. And another force field goes down just before the other one expires.
These Hydras are doing
the drones,
all right, man.
The drones tanked really well, man. Oh, if he gets the prism!
Oh, no!
Oh, man.
Not good.
maybe
this?
30 seconds for 2 zealots
I was
wasn't a
gonna
good
say, I
trade.
don't know about this one. But the Hydras arrive, and Mio's like, here comes the rest of my forces. There's my backline DPS.
There we go. The Hydras are just going to slay the Guardian Shield. Very powerful here, but it does go down. Hydras gun everything out.
Meomaika!
Baneling bust.
He's done
Finally.
it. He's up out of the chair.
Oh my god. Yes, get back in front of the webcam. Show us your emotion. Yes.
After winning his local tournament, Meomaika traveled to Spain to take part in the global DreamHack Valencia, where he would face the best players from all over the world. It was a tough challenge, and Meomaika faced his kryptonite there. The thing is, most European players tend to play safe, scout a lot, and overall prepare better for any cheeses and all-ins. It's really hard to surprise them.
My hardest part is the opposite of my playstyle, the disciplined player, who is too good at SimCity, walling their bay, scout frequently, and good at using spellcaster and tier 3 unit like Cedar in my region. To be the pro gamer, I must possess that kind of skill to handle complex situations like ultra late games with many spellcaster.
But as for his home territory, Meomaika was the absolute beast. After many years of hard practice, he became the best player in his region, and it was very difficult to even take him up from the Cheese King. His unpredictable playstyle makes people feel nervous, and unless he faces a superior opponent, things go really well for him. However, our Vietnamese hero wasn't still at the top level. During DreamHack Atlanta, Meomaika faced strong resistance. From being just a ladder cheeser to the best in his region and one of the most promising players, that's a great career, I must say. And you know what? I think Meomaika has a great shot in 2023. He'll become one of the most consistent and skillful players. The thing is, the new patch is buffing ZERG mid-game, that includes Hydras, and Meomaika loves to use them in almost every game. At the same time, most late-game stalemate army compositions are getting nerfed, and there will be more action around mid-game, and that phase of the match will be a lot more important than it is now. And as you already know, that's where Meomaika excels. And by the way, yesterday was his birthday. Check out his Twitter and wish him best of luck for 2023. And that's it for our story. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to subscribe for more StarCraft 2 and check out the story of Haz, the most infamous Protoss cheeser from Taiwan. Have a good day and see you next time.